It is here, Europa Universalis V, the 5th installment in this glorious series. I started playing Paradox games with EU3, Divine Wind, and here we are, over a decade later. So, a couple of disclaimers to get out of the way before we start. One, this video is sponsored by Paradox, which is an incredibly dumb thing to do because I was gonna make it anyway, but I have to say it. Secondly, this is on a pre-release version of the game, 0.9.1. Things will be different from you, the balance is still going to change, but by and large this is representative of the product you're going to get your hands on if you want to get your hands on it. That done, let's get cracking. There we go, the world in 1337, and it looks respectably large. A very great yuan over there. Japan, India looking tight. Yeah, there's a lot of options for you. Europe is a mess, as you would expect. So many little duchies and counties and cities. There's plenty of content in Africa. Even America has its own little bit of content here. And if you really want to torture yourself, just play a Samoa and do nothing for the next 300 years. Now, I am a sucker for Rome. And there is really only one thing for me here, the Byzantine Empire, which I'm going to immediately change by going to the game rules. There's actually a toggle for Byzantium's name, and I'm going to set it to Eastern Roman Empire. And if I unselect them, reselect them, they're now named the Eastern Roman Empire. And today I will be Rome's strongest soldier. Let's go. Firstly, you might think, wow, Byzantium is off so well in this start. This looks amazing compared to 1444, and I'd say yes on the surface, but not really. Secondly, I have a lot of things to explain, and I'm not going to explain every concept now. I'll do them as they become relevant, otherwise I'll just sit here for like 2 hours explaining things and you will just stop listening to me. So let's get cracking. Why is Byzantium so compelling to me? It is a puzzle. It is in a very, very bad spot. One, income. We're not making any money. We also don't have reserves. Secondly, stability. We don't have any. Thirdly, legitimacy. Again, we basically don't have any. All thanks to Andronikos III, whose tomfoolery lost Byzantium its Anatolian holdings. He insisted on civil wars. That said, he was probably the last vaguely competent Roman emperor around. Everything after him is just a massive joke, including his son, John V, who is appropriately an idiot. So, problem one, our heir is shit. Problem two, our ruler is not great. Problem three, we got no money, no stability, no legitimacy. But wait, there is more. Half our territory does not have control. Whole lot of nuance to it, but just top level. High control good, low control bad. You get control propagating outwards from the capital. And we saw earlier that Thessaly doesn't have any control and it's not integrated. So we're going to quickly go here. Diplomacy, create subjects, and create a puppet. We can do it historically if there are countries that exist and have cores, or you can just make your own custom subject. I'm just going to do historical, doesn't really matter. Duchy of Thessaly, and we'll turn them into a vassal. There's also fiefdoms. I'll be honest, I don't know the exact difference. I just default to vassals because I know it's fine. Vassal. So we turn that worthless territory into a puppet that can actually, you know, get benefit from the land and support us financially and militarily. We have two more provinces with like virtually no control here, as well as here. We're just going to pass them off to our other puppet of Epirus. But Rome's problems don't end there. Next up, the estates. We all know and love the estates. So the crown only has 21% of all the power, which is bad for multiple reasons. The main one being, if you drop below 25% crown power, you get a bunch of penalties. Don't like those penalties? World's shit enough as it is. And everyone, and I do mean everyone in this country, is corrupt. The requirements for purging these are going to be quite steep. In short, you will need 95 legitimacy to be able to revoke the privileges, and then scaling off a couple of different factors, mostly the power the institution has. There's going to be a cost associated with it in stability. And then the main problem perhaps are the people of Anatolia, the Ottomans and the other Turks. The Ottomans will crush us if we don't act fast. So I propose a plan. We are going to throw the principles of fiscal responsibility and caution out the window. Debt is just a number, so we are going to go massively into debt. We are going to print money like it's going out of style, and we are going to play hyper aggressively. We need to get as many Greeks into Byzantium as possible, and we can either get them to migrate to us, or more effectively, we expand our borders to reach the Greeks. However, the Ottomans are relatively strong, and if they all buddy up together, they might be a problem, so we're gonna look for a friend. I'm going to look north. Bulgaria, a bit controversial, but I think Bulgaria will be a fine friend. Now let's just appoint some cabinet members. Now the thing is, every one of these actions has a different skill associated with them, and as we assign members, it's best to match their skill with the task we're giving them. Every country has access to a certain set of laws depending on what country they are. It is different for every single one of them. Changing laws costs stability. Applying laws costs money. It's fine. We're just gonna get this done now. Income. We're gonna mint until we're just break even on inflation. We already almost have 10%, which is shit, I know, but we are not in a position to change that yet. We'll just have to suck up the cost. We're gonna automate the taxes on all of our estates except the clerics. Trade, lovely system. I'm too stupid to figure it out. Maybe by the time I've put 500 hours in, I'll know. Fortunately for idiots like me, we can fully automate this. Right-click the cog trading. It will automate all your markets. Research. Got a couple of researches left. Either you click here on the advances or you go up to that button there. You get the entire tech tree. We are currently in the age of traditions. It's almost over, so most of the tech has been researched by default. Only a couple of them left. This opens up whatever's left. We'll take organized religion. We'll get universal Christianity for extra diplomats. Next up, possible rivals. We have to set rivals. If we don't, there are some penalties involved. It only allows us to do massive juggernauts like Egypt, the Golden Horde, Tunis, and Morocco. All right, we can finally unpause. It's been 27 minutes of me yapping. And the Ottomans have rivaled us. All right. Build spy network in the Ottomans. There we go, the first month have passed, and now everything gets so much worse. The Turkish threat. This starts the rise of the Turks event, let's say, and it kicks us in the nuts. We lose 20 stability, and some people get upset. Worst of all, we are now in dangerous territory. Every month, there is a 1%, a 1%, a 2%, and a 1% chance of a crisis. These 4 disasters. Now, the last one, succession crisis, should be patched out by the time you get your hands on this. Even so, these 3 can pop up, and if they do, it is going to be quite terrible. How do we avoid them? For the decline of the empire, we need to get our average control up. That is the easiest thing to do, or we need to get our stability up. Either way, one of these has to be invalidated. Bulgarians will take an alliance. So one of the next things we're going to do is try to kill Karashids, Saruhanids, Aydinids, basically as many of them as possible before they succumb to the Ottomans. Let's open up a country panel and get an alliance in with Wallachia. Parliament's a really weird system, but every 4-5 years, every 59 months, you can call Parliament. We've already lost 1 disaster up there, so that's good. It means control was shifted up high enough through this action that we crossed the threshold there. So it's just the succession crisis, coup, and other succession crisis. This is it. The earthquake has hit. Alas, there is nothing we can do about it. We lose legitimacy, religious influence, and Constantinople suffers. We could fund its repairs, but that will instantly bankrupt us. We cannot afford this. All right, there we go. That's it. And now we throw fiscal responsibility out the window. We're going to jack up cost of court for the next foreseeable decade or so and spend like crazy. I'm going to offset that by a little bit less diplomatic spending. Maybe no diplomatic spending. We're committed now. We're going into a debt cycle. Expect to see me take like 1,500 gold worth of debt. I've also noticed Ottomans have just puppeted Germanids. They are they? Yep, they are a puppet to the Ottomans. Fuck. The Ottomans are already at war, so they're going to try and conquer Ahis, which is that tiny one over there. All right, we have Parliament, which means we can get a war goal. So we're gonna have it in Constantinople. Where you have your Parliament determines whether you have low centralization, decentralization. Long story short, country values, you want certain ones, you don't want other ones. It really depends on the country. By and large, get centralization, get free subjects, get plutocracy, get innovative capital economy. First off, I'm going to get a casus belli, but on who? Neat little trick. I can declare war on the Saruhanids, then the Aydinids, and that will start a war with Aydinids, Saruhanids, and Karashids. So all three of these, they're all weak. I can take them on my own. I don't even need my allies for this. So I'm gonna do that, yes, which means I'll need a war goal on the Saruhanids. So Parliament in session, fabricate casus belli on the Saruhanids. Pick the most expensive place to take because that's gonna have the highest reduction. Bergama, there we go. We can declare that war now. Declare war on Saruhanids. Co-belligerate the Aydinids. That will... yeah, that should bring in Aydinids, Saruhanids, and Karashids. All three of them will join the war. We'll use the Parliament's casus belli. Always click this button and then select the correct casus belli, or you will do it without a CB and it will just be shit. So we will declare war. We're not going to call our friends in. I don't think we need their help. We're going to raise all of our levies, 10,000 men strong, and we're going to go in. This should be fine, but you know, you never know. We're going to move the navy in as well. Now, the plan is to knock them out one at a time and basically in one fell swoop, which is technically not one, but two swoops. Take out Aydinids, Saruhanids, Karashids, and get control of most of the Greek pops in the area. After that, we're going to use the war goal we get from the spy network to go to war with the Ottomans and crush them. Are my puppets in this war? They are. All right, let's... make sure they support us. Manage subjects. I'm gonna set them to supportive. Yeah, there's gonna be 3,000 men raised here. They're gonna crush this instantly. No! No, they died. Ah, shit. Places you want to occupy first are like provincial capitals. Like for the province of Biga, the capital is Bandirma. This place you can see with the little flag here, or if you go into the province menu, mouse over the locations and then look for the one with the silver icon. That's the province capital. If you take the capital, occupation will spread out from the capital, meaning it will automatically start occupying all the other stuff that is not in a fort zone of control. I've defeated their enemy main stack. That means I can probably start spreading out now and do a little bit of carpet sieging. All right, there's another stack. I need to go find that. So occupy capitals and then spread out from there. And I think 2 of the disasters have just been invalidated by getting a 30 legitimacy. All right, so it's just succession crisis, which should go away once we get 10 stability, and Byzantine succession crisis, which should go away when we get to 50 stability or 80 legitimacy. All right. All right, that's what I mentioned about the occupation. You can see here, these places are automatically flipping control because we control Bandirma, and it's going to spread occupation outwards from there. And we're just going to go from capital to capital, occupying as much as possible, as quickly as possible before they can reconstitute their armies. The way they do that is by raising fresh levies. There's like an internal timer. Pops need to recover, but they will continuously raise levies unless you stop them, which is what we're going to try and do. We're going to try and stop them from raising more levies by occupying more land. We've occupied Bergama, you head to Smyrna, and that should take out the Karashids entirely. Yeah, like full occupation of the Karashids. And we're just going to end the war, sue for peace, take all of the land, take all of the money they will, that 100%, and we have the province, it's ours. Now, we're going to generate metric fuck tons of antagonism. That is to be expected. It's okay. These people will all hate us anyway. We can smooth over things with Genoa if we really want to. We're just going to have to accept the fact that antagonism, it's just a number. And just like that, our population has massively increased. All of this territory is integrated, and it will flip to a core next monthly tick. And it's all cored. All of this is now our core. Hudavendigar is a core, Biga is a core. Wonderful. And I believe I'll be able to raise levies here as well as soon as we've recovered them. Sweet. Sweet. So we're already doing well. Next up, Saruhanids. They're going to get their cheeks clapped as well. All right, Saruhanids are fully occupied, so let's take out the Aydinids. All right, that is the first war. Aydinids, peace out. Take all of their land and as much money as they'll give me. Yeah, this is as many people as I can liberate, and I'll take a little bit of money as well. And I'll be back for another war. It's better than nothing. We'll be back for more, and now we sue for peace with these guys. We should be able to take all of it and sums of money. And the war, just like that. Well, having consolidated all these Greeks, our population has gone up. Hopefully our income will go up. Our tax base has also gone up. Let's get rid of these levies. Don't need them anymore. These areas have just been ravaged by horrible war, so I'm going to quickly get those places to recover. They automatically recover, and what I mean by recover is they gain, what's it called? Prosperity? I don't know. This button here. It will rise relatively quickly, but it is so much faster if you just put a little effort into it with an advisor. It just makes everything better in the state. Just get the number up. Alright, we have our diplomat, we have our spy network. We're going to create a casus belli, claim province on the Ottomans. The one we want is Kocaeli or Hudefendigar. I think Hudefendigar. You basically always want to take the most expensive one, because that one is going to give you the most antagonism. So you want to reduce the most antagonism on the biggest province. The problem now is the Ottomans are allied to Kandarids, and they've subjugated Hamidids and Germanids. Now, unless they get a lot more powerful, by the time the war goal finishes, I can take him. Oh, sweet, our lenders are in crisis, so either I can be the good boy, gain a diplomat, loans are loans, or I can exploit the chaos, getting me out of like 130, 140 ducats of debt. That's a substantial amount of debt. Now, it is going to cost me 40 years of reduced diplomatic reputation. I'll take it. I'll need money now. Less debt means less interest payments, more loans to take in future. I need to keep this train going. I'll start building a spy network for the Menteshids next, because there's a lot of Greeks down there still. Oh, sweet, we're actually making money now, because the mission is giving us an increased maximum tax of 10%, so I'm taxing everyone 10% more. Haha! I'm not a broke bitch. Alright, there we go. The Age of Renaissance is here. Now you have 3 options. You don't get the institutions right away, but you do get 3 options for generic tech. You get administrative focus. Oh, crap. Well, I guess I just clicked it. You get administrative, diplomatic, and military-focused techs, and it unlocks like a generic part of the tree that doesn't require any of the 3 institutions that can arise. So I've committed myself to administrative. Might as well add this to the queue and work our way down from here. I guess peasant levies is not a terrible thing to grab, so I guess we'll work our way towards that. This was the event I was talking about. You get like donations or special war loans. In this case, I would love the money. Would love it. However, this gives me legitimacy 5, which is going to push me over the 80. Click the button. And now we are over the threshold for the Byzantine succession crisis. I have successfully navigated all 4 crises without triggering them. Holy shit, am I happy. I'm going to roll costs down until we get to like a nice low number. We still need to get this up to like 95 to start revoking some terrible privileges, but let's start by getting the cost down so I can mint a little less, still make money, pay off my debts, which are substantial, but pay off debts, get rid of inflation, and then we can actually play the game. We got our war goal. We got our diplomat. Yeah, actually wants to join. Time for prayer. Okay, no pop-up. We're raising all of our levies. Yes, we're raising all 10,000 of them. And we're going to try and group them somewhere the Ottomans can't just automatically stack wipe them. Naval levies, I don't think we're going to raise. Let's jack up the forts and army maintenance. All other spending will keep low. I don't need an additional deficit. I just need to ease my way out of debt. And make sure my allies / puppets are gonna be supportive of me, because I'm gonna need a little bit of help here. Oh dear God, this is gonna be cool. This is gonna be a pain in the ass. All right, so my hope is that I can consolidate some sort of force here, defeat the Ottomans in a decisive battle, make sure their army's gone, and start carpet sieging. It's gonna be a pain. Parking my boys on Izmit. We're not going to assault the city. That fort is, that's too much to simply storm. And we're going to gather up a big death stack. Well, a big stack on there. They've got a stack of 5,000 here. I can take a stack of 5,000, but I really should take them out before they can consolidate. Assaulting that fort is still pointless. 8,000 to 93 units and still won't work. Well. Their forts are in an annoying place, though. Ah, damn! Yeah, that's one of their small stacks there. Fortunately, I should be able to quickly kill it off. Kill small stacks quickly. Ah, no! The fort's blocking movement! Ah. Now, if these southern guys, actually any of these guys, okay, banking has appeared, great. Now, if any of these guys were not puppets, but are individual co-belligerents or just, you know, allies instead of vassals, I could quickly siege them down, knock them out of the war for some money or a little bit of territory, and then focus all out on the Ottomans. Unfortunately, that's not feasible. So, fortunately for us, we still have a numerical edge. With Wallachia and Bulgaria in, plus our own numbers, we have the numbers on them, but we have to engage them carefully. Their troop quality is higher than ours. Holy shit, they just took 3,000 of my people as slaves. Give me back my peasants. Oh, it's gonna be bloody, but we're gonna win. We're gonna trounce them and then immediately proceed with sieges. So we lost. Oh, those were good odds. Those were good odds. All right, let's start occupying more land, and they're gonna try and raise fresh levies. And another stack gone. That one's almost wiped out. All right, now we start sieging the area in here. And full-on engagement. Got him. Get memed on, son. All right, we should have them now. They're still going to try and recover. They might still recover. The southern vassal has been eliminated. The central vassal is being eliminated. We have very positive war score, but what I want is Hudavendigar and Kocaeli, defeat in detail, and then just keep hounding them. Oh, it's just smallpox. Never mind. I thought that was the Black Death for a minute. So, spoiler alert. Yes, the Black Death is in the game. Now let's go hunting for those last stacks, and then we can go on to the task of occupation. Full occupation. Look at that. We've taken the province capital, and our control is propagating outwards, neutralizing the Germanids as well. We've taken everything they have, and I will take so much more. All right, engage the stack. If we engage the stack, the army's gone. All right, it's gone. Damn, this actually went really well. Getting the Bulgarians in is so pivotal. It's like 10,000 extra troops. It doubles your army size. All right, so that war is about to conclude, and nothing but good things, except for the fact that Bulgaria has one single slice of Kocaeli down here that I really don't want to part with. I'm in control of the fort sieges, meaning I will get the capitals. I have control of everything else. It's just that one thing I can't get them to transfer it to me. So it appears my way out of that is fully occupying everything and then sit here on my ass waiting for Bulgaria to leave the war and hope they don't take that province with them. I don't think they have enough participation. Actually, they might to take that. I just hope they'll peace out for some money or something. We're also going to create a casus belli, claims on province on Menteshets down there. I'd like to take one Mugla, please. Thank you. Perhaps a policy change is in order. Get rid of those. And how about we make some friends over here? See if we can get the Serbians to agree to an... Oh, now they hate me. Because I'm at war. The Serbians might be willing to play ball afterwards. We want this province is incredibly rich, incredibly well populated, as well as this province. Unfortunately, this one tile is Bulgarian. I'm not giving it to Bulgaria because that makes it harder to get it back later. I'll be taking Sultanonu, and basically I'm going to take every place that has a majority Greek population. If there's Turks there, the problem with that is it's going to be more difficult to integrate. I am going to piss off basically everyone in the region. As long as I can get Genoa to back down, I don't really care. I can take anyone else, but not the Egyptians. Let's end that. Ah, beautiful. And I left this with the Ottomans for a very simple reason. I am going to go to war with the Menteshets next. And guess who's allied to the Menteshets? If I declare war on the Menteshets, the Ottomans come straight back in. Yes, they won't be a co-belligerent, and it's going to be more expensive to take their stuff, but I just want this. This is the only Greek land they still have, and I will be able to take it. It's Greeks all the way down. Everything is majority Greek. So with that, we are already so much stronger. We're now up to 18,000 levies because a lot of the territory I took is still a core. Easiest way, again, to deal with coalitions is find somebody who really don't want to fight in that coalition and just start improving opinion. It doesn't just improve opinion, it also actively reduces the antagonism between our nations, meaning they will drop out of the coalition much more quickly. I do not want them in the coalition. I just want to fight the Menteshits without any friends. We're now spending 38 on food because all of these places are starving. Why? Well, there's just been a war that has ravaged the land. Prosperity's down, food production's down. We're going to need to fix that, both by getting prosperity back up, building out food production by taking out some loans to get that done, and just, letting the area cover. Once it's occupied, it's not contributing, so it might need another monthly tick to get out of the negative right now. Yeah, so we've weathered it. The worst of the effects have dropped off. It usually takes like a monthly tick to process the fact that all that stuff's no longer occupied and you're actually making some food again. But you can tell it's still a pretty steep cost in some places. So building up RGOs and letting, by that I mean like goods such as food, is going to be a good idea, as well as recovering prosperity. And that is our queue. I believe the coalition is gone. We're going to go to war with the Menteshits. It's going to bring the Ottomans in because they're allied. And just like that, we'll smash the Menteshits' only army with that crushed. It is very much over. And up here, the Ottomans, they don't have the troops to stop me. None of their puppets have the troops to stop me. They are essentially dead. I'm going to bring this stack up north to deal with the last vestiges of Ottoman strength. I saw something and I don't like what I saw. Yeah. That's it. The Black Death has begun to spread. 1346, and it is coming our way. So the Black Death, for those of you who don't know, really bad. Killed a lot of people in Europe, and is going to kill a lot of people in our empire as well. We're going to have to fix that. I can't isolate the country because we don't meet the requirements. Why don't I? There's no plague yet. Okay, can't procure remedies because I have no fucking money. So far, the plague hasn't reached me yet, but it will. You know what this peace deal will have to do? I could take more. I could definitely take more. I just don't want to. Again, I'm gonna piss a lot of people off. Yeah, this is risky. This is Mamluk Sultanate of Egypt and the Jalayirids. The Jalayirids is slightly annoying. I can take him. The Sultanate of Egypt, I'm fucked. If they join, I am turbo fucked. So what if I just not take some of these provinces? There we go. Look at the might of Rome, and I'm going to immediately start improving relations with the Sultanate of Egypt because I need to keep them out of a possible coalition, because that is a very big potential coalition on my ass. And we're just gonna take a step back. We're just gonna casually take a step back, breathe now, and fix the economy. Fix the economy of building up food, building up much needed buildings such as marketplaces, anything that makes me money and keeps me from losing money. What I mean by that is what makes me money is stuff like this, fine cloth. Fine cloth has a potential profit of 9.9 ducats, so that is stuff I'm going to build until it's no longer profitable. And we were so back, and it's back to it being so over. So financially, ruined. We are absolutely destitute because of the food situation. Our market has collapsed. Food has collapsed, meaning there's not enough food to go around, meaning what food is around is incredibly, prohibitively, hideously, disgustingly expensive, meaning I'm bankrupting myself trying to feed my people. Let's just mint my way out of that problem. And to top it all off, we're in a Black Death crisis. The Black Death has arrived in Constantinople. So let's just present some scapegoats. A little bit of extra stability. Segregating the infected. What does that do? More disease resistance is nice. It might be beneficial, actually. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. So take a good long look at that. I have 3 million Greeks here. By the time the Black Death has passed, want to take bets on how many Greeks remain? So we're I think a year into the plague, and I have bad news and I have bad news. The bad news is we have a new emperor, and he's an absolute certified moron with barely any stats. How John V remembers how to breathe is beyond me. So this moron, absolute degenerate, is now in charge of the country. Just go and join a military order and get yourself a little bit of military ability at least. Second terrible thing, we've lost over a million Greeks getting our ass kicked by the plague. 1.142 million deaths by the plague. Holy shit. 28.5 million in total. We are in the top of those who've lost men. On the bright side, food situation's improving. There's more food to go around. There's fewer mouths to feed. Legitimacy gone up a couple of events, same with stability. And we're financially, I don't want to use the word stable, but I'm not minting anymore. So I think this is the final tally. 1,175,000,000. Whew, yeah, that is a lot of dead people, but that is the final tally though. The disease has passed our country by. In the grand scheme of things, we're no longer in the top 5, at least. Everyone else, at least these guys, have lost way more, with Delhi almost losing 6 million people. Holy cow. So as part of our economic recovery, most of our debt's gone. There's just 3 debts left. I'm actually pretty stable. And I'm going to make a couple of changes. I'm making enough money. I don't need to mint as much. In fact, I plan to keep reducing my minting so I can get rid of this horrible inflation. And I've called Parliament to help me do that. So we're going to ask for a law change and precious metals. There we go. They've served their purpose. Thessaly has been diplomatically annexed. That is one puppet down. The others are going to hate me for a little bit. It's okay. And Thessaly has also done the job of integrating all this land for us. This is now all a core because it was a Thessalian core. We diplo-annexed them. We get their cores as long as the demographics match, and these are all Greeks. First order of business, deal with the Ottomans, get rid of the last vestiges of their power. They're never going to bounce back. I just want to finish the job. Alright, we've effectively beaten them. Unfortunately, Genoa decided to hop in and they're taking some of this stuff, which gives me an idea. I'm going to see if I can sue for peace and puppet the jalayirids, which they will, and then just take a little bit of land where there's still some Greeks. It's a Greek minority, but I go where the Greeks are. Papadopoulos must be saved. I wonder if I end this, if the jalayirids are still going to be at war with Genoa and I get dragged in. I mean, there's only one way to find out. We'll just have to see. I get a little money from them, I get a little land from them, and they are absolutely condemned to irrelevancy, so let us click the button. Oh, and a lot of people are not gonna like this move. Then again, I don't care about those people. They're all irrelevant. The Egyptians are irrelevant. The Eretans, they're all irrelevant. I can do this. I can do this. There we go. And no, we are not actually at war with Genoa, which is unfortunate. Well, with most of the expansion in Anatolia done for now, until I can get a little bit stronger. Let's take a bite out of Serbia. I'm going to see if I can take Vardar province off them. Why? Well, Vardar province, if I can find it here. This place, Kratovo, part of Vardar, has silver, and I like silver. Well, we've pissed them off sufficiently. We can declare war. I think we have the edge. We have numerical superiority. Croatia, they won't come in. And even if they do, they're not that tough. Let's get cracking. I wish Bulgaria would come in on my side, though. Shame. All right, let's take our land back. I'm going to make the same play as before. Why can I not raise my levies? There we go. Raising all of our levies. I'm gonna make a big stack and then try to bait them into engaging me. Well, initial engagement not good. I had 2 separate stacks walk into the Wallachian army and basically kill themselves. And now I am down several forces. Now individually I can beat them all as long as they don't group up, so I just gotta play carefully. Well, so far bloody battle. I've lost about a little less than half my army. On the bright side, I have smashed their army as well. Like, they're all individuals. They don't really group up efficient, so if you have a big stack to rove around and you can prevent them from coordinating, you can get pretty good work done. So I'll unsiege some of that stuff, consolidate the army anew, see if I can kill a couple more of their troops, and I think they'll be willing to sign in. Alright, looks like they've given up, defeated their last field armies. They're willing to sign over my cores. Some war reparations are probably in order, and then we call it a day. Good start for Rome. Nice. Nice. Of course, now I have to start kissing their ass because I don't want to constantly be on their bad side. I want to use them next as a sort of sledgehammer to take out Bulgaria. So for reasons entirely beyond me, the country of Argos has decided to commit seppuku. They gave me casus belli. They insulted me. If I were to declare war on them, they get help from the city of Lübeck. I am not entirely certain that the city of Lübeck up there is going to provide you all that much protection down here, Argos. So whatever idea you had about insulting me, it was a really bad one. We're dealing with Argos next. That's going to be utterly irrelevant. But I'm going to annex them. No, I'm going to puppet them and then feed them Athens later on. So with the the county of Argos having been made to see the light, I'm probably going to feed them a little bit of land so I don't have to bother with it. And another vassal integrated. There we go. We have undone Epirus. Look at that. All right, something wonderful has happened. I have both enough money and enough presence of an institution to embrace it. There's just one downside. If I were to embrace this institution, it's going to cost me 50 stability. I cannot afford a 50 stability hit right now, so I'm going to have to postpone this. But basically, you need to get 20% of an institution in your country. 20% of the population in your country has to have been exposed to the institution, and then it scales a certain cost and stability cost to forcibly let the rest of your people experience it. So far, the cost is too much. I don't really know what it scales with. It looks to scale with traditionalist, making it much more expensive. I guess we'll be cranking out some stability then to be able to get that. I'll run a small deficit for the time being, just to be able to get that. All right, we got enough stability. I'm going to take a big fat loan. Don't like doing it, but will allow us to embrace professional armies. A lot of money, a lot of stability, but we can actually get some proper professional armies here. So we'll have to redo our research queue because we now have different priorities. We'll finish that one up and then we'll undo these. So we'll come back to these later. Bulgaria wants me to fight Sicily. That's gonna bring me right back into disaster territory if we go below 0 stability, so I'm gonna have to decline, break my alliance with Bulgaria. But on the other hand, it does open up opportunities to take my cores off Bulgaria, I suppose. Not today, Bulgaria, sorry. Now I've got a -7 stability event. I cannot allow myself to fall below 0. Let a month tick by and you'll see. There we go. Decline of the empire is back, baby. Let's just push that back up to 0 and just pray while we're at it. I have detected what we call in the business an opportunity. I can go to war with Athens and I just have to face Sicily and Florence. I'm stronger than both of them. They might have a navy that could reach out and touch me, but that's it. The land forces of mine are far stronger. I can then take Athens, feed that to my vassal, take Neopatria, basically take all of that. And after that, turn my attention to Bulgaria. If it's going to piss Sicily off, so be it. I'll be without friends for a while. But I think it's going to be worth it. So I'm going to first off insult the Sicilians and then just make them my friends again afterwards. And once we get the diplomat, I'm going to declare war for all that territory. This should be very straightforward. We have the numbers on them. Both at sea, well, maybe not at sea. No, Sicily has the numbers at sea, but we have the numbers not at sea, so I think we can do it. And Sicily brings in Athens, Neopatria, Salona, and then obviously Florence. Yeah, let's just go for it. Well, that's this war one. Let's see. We're gonna make peace, and we're just gonna sign all of this territory from Athens and Neopatria over to Argos, I believe. Yeah, Argos can have it. They have cores on most of it. They like Greeks and a little bit of money. I like money. Some war reparations and a little bit of cash. And I believe that ends the Sicilian influence in the region, and I don't have to worry about Sicilians anymore. I can go back to kissing their ass, actually. Now, Argos is a substantially stronger vassal as well. They will be integrated the same as the others. We are doing really, really well. I'm really pleased. Yeah, the next step is just going to war with the Ottomans. For the last couple of lands they have, we'll just split them between ourselves and the Candarids, get rid of the last Ottomans, and that's it. And with that, we've wiped out the Ottomans and handed it all off to the Candarids, who can now hopefully start converting it for us to Orthodoxy. After which, I prefer to make them Greek as well, but they're already disloyal as it is. Let's nab some land off Genoa. So this little bit of the coast got a claim on it. They'll bring in Austria, Parma, and Venice, but none of those are real land powers except for Austria. But Austria realistically can't get to me. They hate Croatia's guts, so they're not going to walk through Croatia. They don't have a coastline, so they don't have ships, and I don't think they like Hungary well enough to walk through them. So I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit. Claims on province, just declare war. So, quick little war benefit of Venice being involved. I can mess with their stuff as well. I can take all of these little islands they have dotted around here. They have some here, they have little land here, they have a lot of these Greek islands, and they have a puppet of Crete, which I will take as mine own, plus, you know, a little bit of a cash injection. Is it going to piss people off? It is. Do I care about that? No. Just like that, I have kicked the Europeans out of the area, made a little bit of money, a lot of money, and have a good day. And we can also make a new friend. We need a land force, and in Hungary, I think we found a new friend. We can use Hungary to beat up Serbia and Bulgaria, maybe Wallachia as well. All right, you know the drill. Got my war goal on Bulgaria. We are going to use claims on province. So we're just going to declare that war and get everyone out into the field. 27,000 levies. All right then, after a short campaign, the enemy is well and truly humiliated. They'll give me basically anything I ask for. The cores of Pirin, Rodopes, along with Burgas, where the Greeks reside. Anyway, that's a good blow, and with that, the empire grows. As we're headed into the 1400s, I think now is a good time to break the power of the Aretnids and the Jalayirids in Anatolia once and for all. I've got a war goal, so we will be fighting the Jalayirids and their massive vassal swarm. One minor problem with wanting to go to war with the Aretnids, I currently can't because my peasants are too close to an uprising. Now, I could use my cabinet to force them down. It's a very useful action. You do a rebel crackdown and then you force their rebel progress down. Or, you know, considering it's just a couple of peasants in these two areas, I'm just gonna let them revolt, crush them, and they'll be out of my hair for the foreseeable future. Well, it took them long enough. Peasants have risen up. Just crush them. We'll go in on the Aretnids. We'll still have time on the war goal. Alright, since I need to conquer Antalya, let's move my regular army right on top of it. Don't need to wait for the levies to be raised. The regulars can make the initial attack. We'll start sieging the fort so they don't immediately, you know, get more people in there. Once it's under siege, it doesn't increase its garrison. And the fun thing is, I did manage to get a little bit of artillery. So I have hired two cannons, two battalions of regulars with cannons will help our siege a lot. The crossbowmen, the cannons in, and then, you know, we'll send in the peasants to storm the walls. I am realizing now that my glorious ally of Hungary with their massive Moldovan puppet can't actually get to me. We'll have to create a, call it a Bulgarian corridor for them next war. Alright, I think this is it. This is like the main stack of theirs, 10,000 units. The rest are all, well, there's a lot of units, but all of the other stacks are much smaller. If we win this fight, it's Jover. Got my cannons in, bombarding them on the charge. We got like 3-to-1 odds, defensive battle in excellent terrain for us because terrain really matters. This is a forest giving a one attack penalty to the attacker. So really want to check your terrain. If you're, for instance, fighting in a mountain with woods, that's a 3 penalty to the attacker. In this case, it's just a 1, but we're smashing them. We have the numbers, we have the quality, we have the terrain. We smash their units, and then we go on the siege. So we have managed to take the fortress of Antalya after a siege, then immediately used my regulars to fill the fort back up. There we go. You can use those regular troops with this button, refill garrisons, and it will pull 250 units from the regular units and fill the garrison up to the maximum. That way, your fort that you just conquered is actually useful. Yeah, it took me a while to figure that one out. So, several solid battles in, and the war has definitely turned our way. We're gonna crush them, but I'm gonna prosecute this war for a little while longer. See, the Jalayirids are basically a horde nation. Their strength comes from the fact that they have a large standing army. I don't fully understand the mechanics. I'm not going to lecture you on it, but if you weaken them enough, they collapse. And all those puppets get cut loose, which was going to make it a lot more easy to carve up the Eretnids in future, since I don't have to deal with all the nonsense. It's just going to be them. And hopefully not Egypt, but it's just going to be them. That's it. 100 war score. We've beaten them within an inch of their life. I'm going to take the coast. It is majority Greek. Going to take a little bit of inland for clean borders. And I'm going to share some land with my Kandarid friends. So that is actually a pretty big bite out of the Eretnids. And I've just humiliated the jalayirids. The one downside here is going to be a lot of people are not going to like this move. So I'll have a small coalition against me. One more major issue is that we now have a border with Egypt. They've got troops for days. They've got twice my population. Well, I dug too deep and too greedy. I've just been declared war on by a massive coalition. Like I said, I don't want Bulgaria and Egypt fighting me. Guess who's fighting me? Bulgaria. And they dragged in Egypt and a bunch of smaller things. I've been looking through this window, and I can give Bulgaria a sound toll exemption, meaning they don't have to pay me a fee to conduct a trade through the Bosporus for X amount of years. I don't know how long is it, but that is enough to get the entire alliance to not fight me. This is broken, but I'm gonna take it. Like, we're getting a standing army, we have a standing navy of galleys. I'm starting to make some light ships as well. Obviously, for those of you who know the game's predecessor, trade is king, and light ships make trade go brrr. Speaking of trade, we are now making money. Stacks of fat, stacks of cash, money. We are a trading empire, and money makes the world go around. Well, what do you know? It's like the Hungarians read my mind. I was getting bored, and they've just offered me something to do. Alright, let's go in on Serbia and Bulgaria. No coalition this time because it's not my war, and the coalition has shrunk a lot. Well, for those of you wondering, there has been a patch since I last played, and combat has been slowed down a lot to be a little more realistic. Fewer casualties all around. Morale drains a little bit slower. The AI is also not going to cut and run all the time. And fancy new icons. Yes. Now look at these numbers. Sieges also take a long time, but it's worth it. That's it. We've gotten rid of all 4 horrible privileges. We've stabilized the finances, we've grown the border, we've stabilized and reinvigorated the realm. Yeah, Hungary can do the rest. I'm dipping out with the last bit of core territory that is still unclaimed. The area around Duresh, the remainder of Albania is going to go to us. I'll piss a couple people off at nobody who really matters. There we go. And a bunch of money. We've broken their backs. You know, I'd like to get a little payout. There we go. That is the province of Albania returned to our beloved bosom, which still had cores of the Eastern Roman Empire. Look at that. I have gathered unto myself all of the world's Greeks. Well, 1419, we finally figured out enough of the Renaissance to bring it in. 700 gold and a little bit of stability. The stability is actually not the issue this time. It's just stupidly expensive, but if we get it in, at least our country has caught up. The glorious nation of the Eastern Roman Empire. Oh, the Serbs have given up. So I can make Serbia a vassal. Don't think I can squeeze any money out of them. No, but they will be a vassal and that will be enough. It's going to piss a lot of people off. We're going to counteract that by improving our opinion. It doesn't just raise opinion, it also removes antagonism from that country. Now look at that. Serbia is beautiful once again. I just wish everyone didn't hate my guts. That would be nice. And we'll start planning for the inevitable assault upon the Mamluk Sultanate. Oh joy, oh happy days, the age of discovery is upon us. I'll be honest, I have no idea which of these I want, so I can mouse over and see what the possible advantages these things have for you. These are all texts, like the generic texts you can research every age. I accidentally clicked through them last time. I don't know, my gut says I want administrative. Because, you know, more money means you can expand more goodly, more bigly, huge. Military, if I'm gonna fight the Mamluks, the military is gonna help. substantially. You know what? Since they are going to be my first target, we'll fight them. Oh man, do not want to see this. I can be targeted by a jihad, so I meet all the requirements. I would not mind fighting just Egypt, but if they pull everyone in and it gets dogpiled, not great. Fortunately, I'm working hard at removing or otherwise persuading my Sunni population. I am converting, let's see, Kutaya, Karashihar, and Alaya. I am really working hard at convincing people that it is okay to be orthodox. All right, gentlemen, here we go. We have our war. Hungary will join my party if I pretend to bribe them with a little land and then stab them in the back afterwards and not pay them, because I won't need their help afterwards anyway. We march on a religious war against Egypt. Our goal is simple. We will take Cyprus if we can. Well, no, if we can. We will continue this war until we take Cyprus. I have an army of 90 ships, of which 55 are galleys. I have 9 heavy ships in production, but they are nowhere near done. They're going to take another year in the oven. I'm going to slow this game way down. Raise all levies. I wish I could raise some naval levies, but there's currently a small problem with naval levies. We are also going to raise all naval levies because we're going to need transports to get to the shitty little island. And I'm going to pull my galleys in closer. I'm going to move them to a hub of roads to try and intercept Ottoman shipping. And we march straight on Tartus. If I can get to the fort before they can get it fully staffed, that would be great. I'll move the fleet into blockade. Oh look, I found one of their fleets. They're using their transport to bring 2,000 men across. I'm going to try and intercept them. They're heading to Cape Apostolos Pososotolos. So I'm going to try and move in there and sink the Holy shit, they're fast! Alright, I'll go there then. I'll intercept them there. Oh, they ran away. So the engagement was great, but not as decisive as it could have been. Didn't actually sink the troops. They're just running away now. This is a slow-ass battle. They're probably going to retreat, but these are their regulars. So if I can get their regulars out of commission early, they have fewer cannon to throw around. I'm taking such stupid casualties, though. Holy shit, I outnumber them 2-1, but they are kicking my ass. Actually, no, it just looks like they're kicking my ass. I have inflicted more casualties than I've taken. Anyway, we'll wrap that battle up, move back onto the siege, and I'm moving these guys, a small stack of peasants. I'm moving that one up onto the island of Cyprus. All right, so okay, 3-1 casualties. Not as bad as I thought it would be, and I will move back, consolidate. Okay, there's an Ottoman fleet here. These are transports. These are heavies. I am moving 55... We're going to need to watch this. I'm moving 55 galleys in against 1 light and 8 heavies. How is this going to play out? I am curious. Okay, it's playing out really well because I apparently have high initiative. These are fast ships in their ideal terrain, an inland sea. So I can gang up on their much more powerful ships and hopefully knock them out before they can form anything resembling a proper battle line. Oh yeah, I lost on paper 4 galleys. Now I'll quickly catch the transports if I can. Well, so far it's going reasonably well. I've managed to get 1 full army onto Cyprus, just sieging it down, got the Cypriot army destroyed. Just gotta siege the entire province. I should be able to take it. And the Navy has done so much good work that it has grown itself. I've managed to take quite a few Mediterranean galleys off the Mamluks, and we have whittled down their navy. They're down to 11 galleys, a light ship, and 7 heavies. Now, during this glorious campaign, I realized I have something I've forgotten about, and that is cultures. A little while ago, the jalayirids proposed to me, you know, how about we improve our mutual understanding? They are Turkish, they're my puppet, they're like us, so they proposed, how about the Greeks no longer view Turks as enemies? And I used the same diplomatic interaction. We no longer now hate Turks, meaning we have enough accepted cultures capacity to accept Turkish, both because it became cheaper and because our cap was raised through research. We can accept a total of 4 cultures. I mean, 4 points worth of culture, with each culture having a different point cost depending on opinion of the cultures, as well as how many of the people there are in your country. And with Turkish now accepted, they've been elevated to be, close enough to Greek, meaning every place that is Turkish culture, not Greek majority, but Turkish majority, let's see if I can find a couple of places, is going to become a core. So I believe that is going to increase the amount of, just raw military might I can squeeze out of a place substantially. I see a stack. I'm going to engage it. Full send. Slow the game down. Let's see what this is. We're gonna dogpile them. Do as much damage here as possible. Oh yeah, we're mauling them. Terrain is so impactful in this game. You absolutely want to pay attention to the kind of terrain you're fighting in, or you will. I promise you, you will have a bad time. Now this is not super impactful. So devs have been tweaking the numbers as I've been recording, and they've settled on battles being slightly less impactful when it comes to just overall numbers. Meaning you tend to lose a lot of guys. You tend not to lose a lot of guys anymore. I think we might be in for a spot of trouble. That is 1, 2, 3 massive stacks closing in on my armies. Oh, we're gonna stack up everything we have and just clench our butt cheeks. Like, fortunately, we start this war with high morale. The enemy's walking into this with relatively reduced morale, all things considering. We've got the numbers initially, so they're pouring in more. If they arrive individually, we'll be okay. Okay, so this is 1. Reinforce down there, because apparently we accidentally intercepted a stack there. You will intercept a stack there. Oh, we might split them. We split them, defeat in detail. Now this stack is gonna have some issues, but if I can reinforce it in time, it'll be okay. Ooh, I took prisoners. Nice. On reinforce. God, hold, Girdle, hold. Oh, these are massive battles, but the impact is comparatively low. Oh no, I won. All right, so they've just instantly retreated. All right, in that case, I'll just siege the luck then. So much for the vaunted Mamluk armies. So they're reinforcing. I'm also reinforcing in 1 day. Come on. Okay, we got the numbers. If we can keep feeding our troops in faster than they can push them out, we got them. Wait. Battle's turning. Why is the battle turning? Oh no, okay, it's okay. For a minute there, I was afraid we're gonna lose. Maybe they fed in another stack from the south that I can't see in the fog of war. That would be bad. Yes. Break them. I think they did feed in a small stack of regulars. And once you've defeated your opposing flank, let's say, the units here can then start flanking action on the next stack over, and they will do more damage. Damn, can't believe we won that. Let's move on to the next seat. Oh. Oh, they've just retreated into one of my stacks. Well, we'll just have to deal with that. These guys are gonna get deleted. I'll move reinforcements in. We'll deal with that. All right, so this is I figured I'll just go in there, crush that little stack with 2 of mine. Yeah, I walked in a river crossing penalty, a vegetation penalty, and a topography penalty. So I'm taking a -3. As a result, casualties here are horrendous. I'm taking horrendous casualties. I'll win this, but casualties are bad. Yeah, that was bloody. But we won, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. I lost 5,500 men as they were disembarking to siege Crete, and I forgot to put my actual navy to protect them, as like two galleys of the Cretians just swooped in, killed the entire stack, and left. I refuse to elaborate. Okay, this is beyond me. How did they just sneak 10,000 men into a tile? These were not here before, so where the fuck did they come from? So suddenly I'm the attacker in the worst possible location. Yeah, I lost that. Yeah, you retreat as well. Yeah, we'll reform up. We'll form up again there. Jesus Christ. I've won that battle, and I'm gonna lose the next one unless... No. No matter what I do, I'm going to lose the next one. I'm gonna get my teeth kicked in by these guys. They're doing it again. That's 19,000 troops on transports. Yeah, that was also a major engagement. Either way, we've won the major engagement. This is just going to be 19,000 troops I delete. Alright, I think this is going to be one of those last decisive battles. 17,000 against my 2 stacks. Alright, oh, I'm the attacker. Right, I'm sieging, so I get the penalties, the terrain penalties. Alright, we've turned it. We've got it. Ooh, that was painful. We did come out on top. My heavy ships are also done. 9 early carracks with a 10th in production. And conversely, we are actually close to being naval hegemon ourselves. We are tied with the Kingdom of France. If I can get 1 more heavy built, I will end the game as the naval hegemon. I'll say end. I am absolutely going to keep playing this in my own time. But for the video, we got 2 more years. Ooh, is this going to be the last actual decisive battle of the war? Yeah, that has quite a few casualties. Oh my god, my regulars, they've been whittled down to 163 men. I have no more cannons. And they will also take this deal. Pay me money and sign over the Actually, I'm feeling greedy. And I'm gonna try and get the siege here. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna peace out. I will take for myself Cyprus as well as Tarsus and Sis, which I will turn into a puppet of ourselves. So we are going to send the demand. We'll take a little bit of money as well. And with this, I will have gathered unto myself my Greeks. And with that peace deal concluded, we have faced our biggest challenge yet, the Mamluk Sultanate of Egypt, and came out triumphant. The last of the Greeks have been saved. They have been brought into our loving embrace. All of the Greeks on this planet have been brought into the fold. This is a Greek empire, Roman but Greek. We accept the Turks, they can be here, but it's Greek first and foremost, and we have a lovely little subject in Cilicia, which is governed by ourselves. Yes, I'm king of 2 places now. Huzzah! And I think before 1444, there is only one more realistic goal for us to attain. Maybe we can climb up another great power slot, but first is going to be a tall order, but we can still achieve a hegemon status. Naval hegemon. I need 1 more ship, maybe a couple more of the French go building. So we will seize that from the French and end this run on a high note. Here we are, January 1st, 1444. The Eastern Roman Empire, Byzantium, has reclaimed its cores. It is the dominant power, not just in the Mediterranean, but in the world. We are the #1 great power, and we are the naval hegemon by the skin of our teeth, but we are the naval hegemon. We have the Greeks of the world firmly tucked against our bosom, and we have another almost 400 years to go. Can we actually form Rome? If you want to see me form Rome, let me know down in the comments. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I have had a lot of fun with this game. It has some jank in this version, but that has not stopped me from sinking over 200 hours in this so far. I am sold. I will make more videos on this game. Hope you guys will be there to support me and to enjoy the content. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.